Hi guys, welcome back. It's Tommy with the ASMR version of REYNOR versus MARU. Once again, we have a strong international engagement in between the two pro players. Let me just start by introducing them to you as we have spawned here. In the upper right, in the blue, it is MARU from South Korea, and his opponent in the lower left, in the red, it is REYNOR from Italy. So nice international engagement from the ASL tournament as they're spawning here on Tropical Sacrifice. A very nice game, a very long game, as you can see from the timer. I did watch a little bit of it, but of course I'm not going to spoil it for you. So let's just see exactly what the players have prepared for us, as REYNOR is already moving out, of course, to scout those proxy barracks from MARU, but MARU deciding to play it very much normal here with his supply depot, with his barracks and his gas at home. At the same time, we see, of course, REYNOR expanding really quick, so fast expansion here for REYNOR. No intentions to go into a fast spawning pool or anything like it. So basically we have the same ordinary build order by both players. Fast expansion for REYNOR, very likely going to continue with a spawning pool and extractor, and MARU also continuing here with his supply depot barracks and gas. I believe I did see the extractor from REYNOR. Yes, indeed, there it is, and there is that spawning pool. So the pretty standard open up here, the pretty standard build order as the overlord slowly but steadily to move out here for REYNOR, as we have a female quark, or I believe that was. And yeah, we see, of course, REYNOR also expanding, actually wishing to expand very soon. We do know that a 2-minute and 30-second mark is, of course, the next expansion point here for any Zerg. Let's check MARU really quick. Of course, he's also expanding, but I believe he's also going to send out a SCV really soon towards the base from REYNOR, just to see exactly what the build order is. And yeah, or perhaps he's going to wait for his first Reaper to move out and scout the proximity, just in case, see what, if there is an expansion here for REYNOR or not. So yeah, slowly but steadily the Reaper moves out. This overload, of course, is very much important here for REYNOR, as it will give later on information about the next build order here from the Terran. We see him actually continue with a factory, so the expansion into factory for REYNOR, sorry, for MARU, as MARU's first Reaper does come in here. Tries, of course, to snipe some units, tries to, of course, to go for those drones, sniping perhaps one Zergling or two, but in the end dropping very much low. And of course this abusement is going to stop as soon as the queens will pop out. So we see that the second expansion point, like I told you, around the 2-minute and 30-second mark for any Zerg. So REYNOR playing quite normally here, having his queens out for defensive purposes, and of course droning now up. His overload is also nicely but slowly moving here forward towards the main base from MARU. And interesting enough, MARU goes for another expansion, as he's also adding here his starport. Barracks into factory, then expansion, then another expansion and starport with gas. Interesting build order here for MARU against the Zerg, against REYNOR. REYNOR, of course, keeps spreading that creep, and currently, like I told you, is massing more and more drones. We can see, of course, the production tab in the upper left part, just in case I'm missing something, and we actually see some Hellions being built by the Terran. Of course, the Hellions are really strong against the mineral line from the Zergs and any opponent. So this could be a strong move out here by MARU. Let's see if he can make anything happen. Of course, REYNOR knows this. Queens are already out on the map. This ramp is pretty much secured with a queen and with some Zerglings. As yet, the overload now finally did come in. He does see the build order from MARU. I don't think that he saw the expansion. So MARU, knowing this, of course, adding a Viking, really wants to take care of this one overload. So yeah, the queens nicely holding here for REYNOR. Spread more and more of that creep. Of course, he wants very likely to expand into this location as the first overload is getting sniped here. Let's have a look at the worker count. 44 already here for REYNOR versus the 35 for MARU. As MARU is now deciding to stay back a little bit, repairing his Hellions. And we also might see a drop in case he goes for some medivacs. But actually, no, he adds more and more of those Hellions. So he really wants to damage the economy from the Zerg, the economy from REYNOR. And 6 Hellions can be really deadly, as we see that female Karak here. Karak, actually. Yeah, but those queens are, of course, a good counter towards those Hellions. They're very tanky. They don't take so much damage out of the flame And MARU is going to try perhaps to attack into another position. The Viking is in the air, he might try to land it. Let's see, there's also 3 queens here, so REYNOR should be fine, but the Helens are very fast, so he might try to snipe those workers. However, REYNOR really nicely defending, having so much creep spreaded, being so much more mobile onto that creep. And yeah, just playing very much defensively. Of course, MARU tries to come in, tries to kill the economy, but in the end he has to just settle for roaming around, just settle for having vision what exactly is going on. So right now he's pretty much retreating. He also expanded here into this location and really has such a huge number now of Helens. 8 Helens for him, no medivac. I believe he just wants to bust straight here forward towards REYNOR. 10 Helens pretty soon to be, no medivac for him. I believe he's just going to sacrifice some Helens and he's just going to push forward here against the expansion against the economy from REYNOR. Let's see if I'm right. We have actually a battle cruiser, so surprise here for MARU, bringing in a battle cruiser at the same time. His Helens, I also see them on the minimap. This could be a double attack here by MARU. Queens have to retreat, of course, to attack this one battle cruiser. And this could be the chance from MARU with so many Helens. He tries, of course, to bust here forward, but there's also roaches on the ground, and roaches, of course, also don't take so much damage. So interesting move here by MARU, bringing a battle cruiser, teleporting him in straight towards that middle line, and now just flying towards the other expansion. So nice job here by MARU, trying a very good multitask by him, but in the end REYNOR, of course, with his experience, did left some roaches behind, did leave some queens behind, and yes, MARU is still roaming around, still tries, of course, to somehow punch here through the economy from REYNOR. But yeah, REYNOR nicely kiting those units back and forward, and yeah, look how less damage this one queen takes from those Helens, as the roaches will of course take care of this point. So nice defense by REYNOR, not taking so many units as a damage. Only 4 drones have been sniped, but also some Helens have been sniped here by MARU. And yeah, interesting enough, no medivac still for MARU, as the roaches now finally will push those Helens back, and the queens are so much nice here, spreading so much creep. Well, REYNOR almost making it here towards the second expansion point for MARU. So such a nice creep highway being created as we close in at a 10-minute mark. Look at that, those creep eggs even slowly but steadily moving here forward. But we do see 2 battle cruisers, so once again MARU might try to teleport them and attack. Let's see what his options are. Currently he's just scanning the location, just sniping egg after egg, so was not wanting to allow to have REYNOR so much mobility on the map. And yeah, very interesting game we have here, and REYNOR also very much aggressively moving here forward with his queens. Roaches are also in position, so we might see very soon a timing attack by REYNOR versus MARU. Let's see if this is going to work out. So many Helens still on the ground, and interesting enough, there are still no medivacs. At least I don't see any medivacs. Actually, some tanks are being produced, and more of those battle cruisers. So yeah, MARU going really heavily into that mechanical build order. Let's see where is that going to be taking him, as slowly but steadily REYNOR make it here out with his creep, and also deciding to go for corruptors. He's heading straight into corruptors against those battle cruisers. 3 battle cruisers already here for MARU. As more and more workers will be transferred here by him. We see so many tanks actually here on the ground, of course, to secure the expansion point against the roaches, against the queens. And here REYNOR still has to make up his mind where exactly is he going to be attacking. At the same time, he's also expanding here into this location. So yeah, the high ground is here for the Terran. REYNOR moving more and more forward, but MARU seems to be prepared for that with his battle cruisers, with his tanks on the ground. And the corruptors, of course, chasing some battle cruisers, but not finding any one of them. Of course, MARU could teleport once again into this expansion point, and we do see a swarm host now being laid by REYNOR. Actually, many small swarm hosts, a very interesting strategy. Very soon we will see those locusts being launched. Corruptors are also in the air, and yeah, there they are. Remember, REYNOR is only trading energy for this attack. Those locusts just cost energy, no minerals or gas. And here we go, Yamamoto gun has been used, but the corruptors are very much strong here against those battle cruisers. MARU nicely teleporting out of danger. As here the more and more units will be launched. The Helens and Hellbats. We also see MARU go for Hellbats in different situations against the Swarm Host, against Broodlords. We will have blue flamed Hellions now, but the Queens are here to attack. The Corruptors do take some damage. And yes, so much damage being taken left and right as Reynor wants, of course, to launch another attack with those Swarm Hosts, with those eggs. Let's see where this is going to be taking him, as another Locust Swarm is going to be launched here. So much damage, so much splash damage actually for those tanks against their own units, but the Hellions look like they will hold in the end. Only 4 SCVs and a couple of turrets have been lost here. At the same time, Reynor still moves forward, but he needs to be careful. There's even Cyclones on the ground now, and tanks, of course. 4 tanks nicely spread here by MARU. This is pretty much under siege. We see some Ravagers, of course, being added now by Reynor just to have more and more range here to attack this expansion. A nice abusement here by MARU with those Cyclones on the ground, as they are in that fog of war, so Reynor isn't really seeing them. Now we see yet another launch. Let's see how many Swarm Hosts he has. Quite a significant number here, as he's launching, of course, another attack towards MARU. At the same time, he's also moving forward with his Queens, with his Ravagers, pretty much launching attack after attack here against MARU, but MARU nicely holding with his bats, with his tanks. So I believe Reynor is going to retreat a little bit. At the same time, MARU expanding here with a planetary fortress. So yeah, still no way here forward against MARU. MARU expecting perhaps this attack, going into those Hellbats, having those tanks on the ground, and of course the battle cruisers good against anything. So yeah, even MARU is now moving forward with his Hellbats, with his Cyclones, and the nice lasers here. I can see a very beautiful 2 double lasers here for those Cyclones, as the Corruptors might take out a battle cruiser or 2. MARU needs to be careful not watching this, almost taking out 1 battle cruiser, but the Cyclones are also attacking. He decides to push out, and at the same time we see some Locusts also being launched here, but MARU nicely saving those battle cruisers, even this one with 10 HP. I believe he still actually has 4 battle cruisers now. And yeah, Reynor still in position, leaving those Swarm Hosts quite exposed. He needs to be careful, he's getting scanned. There are some other units here on the ground, and yeah, nice addition now as he's going for some banings. So Reynor really wanting to bust here forward. Actually, he might even try to kill this expansion. We have a scorpion looking creature here, Scantipede. And yeah, let's see if he's going to be making it. He's attacking on 2 fronts, once here and the other front is attacking here with some Locusts. So nice multitasking here by Reynor, and in the end the banings will take care of this one expansion. So nice snapping. He did lose quite some units. He might even lose more and more as those Cyclones are here on the ground. At the same time, the Locusts have been held once again. The tanks doing great job with those Hellbats on the ground. And yeah, you can actually see the lasers here. Very interesting unit to have, the Cyclone. Such a strong unit, looking very nice here. For the Terran, it's like a train, a choo-choo train of Cyclones here for MARU, going very much heavily into those mechanical build orders. And here we see the battle cruisers using Yamamoto gun against the Swarm Host. And now they just have to retreat. The another Swarm Host is being launched. Quite some great splash damage against his own units here. 1 tank has fallen. Such a hard game here actually for MARU, as is being pretty much under siege by all of those units. We see another engagement here by Reynor. Tries of course to snipe his expansion as well, but in the end he just has to retreat. So interesting game here. We have MARU pretty much on the defense. Reynor not really making it here forward, as those tanks and those Hellbats on the ground do hold that position. There's actually 5 battle cruisers now here for MARU, as Reynor pretty much has transitioned into many Zerglings and Banelings, not going heavily into those Roach Ravagers. We once again see a launch here. Swarm Hosts on the ground. We do see some snipers now, as the Locust will drop here and so much damage this time against MARU. It does make some good connections. MARU is on the high ground with his snipers, but yeah, some tanks have fallen here as well. And remember, Reynor is just trading energy, just trading time. Not those Locusts don't cost any minerals, don't cost any gas. So nice strategy by him. At the same time, hold on, we actually see an army move out by MARU with his battle cruiser. Yamamoto might get launched here. So nice job with 1 Yamamoto to take care of those Corruptors, and MARU feeling confident, staying into this position, microing his battle cruisers really nicely 5 of them, actually 4 are being left, but yeah, not that many corruptors being left after those Yamamoto guns. So yeah, the hatchery is dropping really well. I believe MARU is going to teleport out really soon, and there it is. Such a nice micro here by him. At the same time, Banelings do roll here forward. We did miss 17 kills here out of those Banelings, so of course MARU was busy microing those units, but yeah, 17 kills. I believe it was Locusts and Banelings into this location. Nice job here by REYNOR, as he still has less workers than MARU, interesting enough. After sniping 17 SCVs, MARU still at 82, so his economy looking really strong as REYNOR takes another expansion point. So much action going on left and right, both players attacking each other, hurting each other as much as they can. And yeah, once again, a Locust Swarm is being prepared with Banelings. Let's see where exactly this is going to be taking. REYNOR, as his Locust will of course be the first unit to be attacked, then come in the Banelings, getting some good connections, just keep rolling here forward. And yeah, of course the snipers will be microed back. Some corruptors will try to take out some battlecruisers, but once again Yamamoto gun is online and MARU holds, and he has actually quite a strong force of snipers now. He might use EMP very soon, and he might even try to snipe those Locusts. Yeah, REYNOR has to rebuild here. He's actually having this expansion here as well. He will very likely also go into this expansion as things have settled down a little bit. Things have calmed down a little bit here as REYNOR once again tries to bust here very likely forward with the same strategy, bringing his swarm hosts forward and then rolling forward with his Banelings. An interesting strategy. There are those eggs on the ground. MARU knows exactly what is coming. Tanks are nicely spread in the back. The snipers will be targeted. Let's see where those Locusts will take him. This time not deciding to attack with the Banelings as well, just staying behind. Perhaps he's going for a different attack move, a different strategy, but MARU nicely having more and more command centers, so just in case one command center gets sniped, he has that second or third command center. Perhaps REYNOR now preparing a multitask here, but we do see the snipers on the ground straight going for those Locusts. So nice shot here by MARU, but the Banelings do roll here forward, so lots and lots of snipers will be lost. Nice job here by REYNOR taking out those important units for MARU. This is pretty much just rolling here forward into MARU's base. So many casualties for MARU as he's dropping into supply. 72 army only here for MARU as his command centers will once again land. And yes, even 7 SCVs have been killed. At the same time, a command center tries to land here, but this overlord is in position. Okay, let's see at the next moves here by both players. A nice scan going out here for MARU. He still sees quite a large force of those swarm hosts. And yeah, this once again is going for Zerglings, is going for Banelings and preparing a strong attack, launching those eggs. Let's see what he can snipe here. Perhaps a turret, perhaps this one tank. Zerglings do move here forward, so REYNOR pretty much committing with his Zerglings, with his Banelings, sniping a tank or two. But yeah, in the end, MARU once again holding, however also losing 6 workers. So MARU dropping more and more lower into that worker count. REYNOR strongly using those swarm hosts very nicely here for him, as his expansion is also here up. So more and more Zerglings are being pumped out, more and more units. Let's see how many battlecruisers are left. Only 2 Hellbats are being added by MARU, of course, to counter those swarm hosts, just in case if later there will be some Broodlords. He also has those Hellbats on the ground. So yeah, slowly but steadily we're closing at the 20-minute mark. It's still anyone's game, a very interesting game here in between these two pros. Swarm hosts are once again being added here to launch some eggs. Let's see where exactly he's going to be attacking. This is not really well defended, but at the same time we see REYNOR multitasking here with Zerglings, with Banelings. Tries to cut off here MARU from defending. Yeah, the Banelings might get some good connections here against so many SCVs. Once again, 18 SCVs have fallen here for MARU. MARU dropping pretty much low into 52 workers. So currently a better game here for REYNOR, as he's just keep damaging the economy from MARU more and more. So such a hard game here for MARU. Those SCVs once again being exposed as REYNOR waits for another launch force on Banelings. And if he takes out those SCVs here, he's pretty much in a commanding lead. Let's see him though. battle cruisers to move forward. The tanks are on the high ground. MARU knows, of course, how important this base is. So yeah, let's see the next move, what exactly is going to happen. Swarmhost will very likely try once again to cut the forces here for MARU into snipers or on ground. We even see a Raven now in the air. Lots and lots of tanks as REYNOR pretty much throwing everything he has very soon into this location. This is exactly why MARU is adding some turrets. So yeah, let's see what exactly is going to happen. Once again, an attack, we might see a multitask once again going on here for REYNOR versus MARU. The tanks have been attacked here. 2 tanks have fallen. At the same time, in comes REYNOR with his forces, but they are nicely spread siege tanks, and we have snipers on the ground. So yeah, MARU does hold, but at what cost? His economy has dropped really low. He still has such a huge army force, 132 of an army. So yeah, that army still has to be kept alive. The tanks do get repaired. The tanks on the ground are so much important here for MARU, as he's once again going to try to keep his other expansion now safe. Slowly but steadily he's coming back. He's at 61 workers, but hold on. You might see an attack here. The corruptors do eat some Yamamoto guns out of the battle cruiser, so they have to retreat. And yeah, REYNOR very likely going to transition. Perhaps he's going to attack now this location, as so many of those forces, so many of MARU's forces are on the high ground. So just like in a chess game, REYNOR now decides to very likely attack this location. But yeah, MARU still has some tanks here, still has some snipers on the ground. Yes, indeed, in comes REYNOR, of course, with a logic attack. But is it going to be enough here for him? The locusts are also attacking here, and very likely the tanks will be the target here of those locusts. The tanks, sadly for them, also dealing splash damage towards each other. Even the Hellbats have taken some damage, so the Medivacs have to heal. So such an interesting game here by both players. Such a great hold by MARU. But yes, let's see for how long can he hold. Only 2 battle cruisers remaining here for MARU. And so many Hellbats actually on the ground. The perfect counter towards those Swarmhost, towards those Locusts, and very much later on some Broodwars. We see a nice push here by REYNOR with a few Roaches, with some Banelings, taking out quite a good chunk of those buildings. But in the end, the Banelings tried, of course, to get some connections. At the same time, we see another attack here, this time by mass Locusts. But there is a planetary which is getting repaired. And yet the Locusts, of course, try to snipe one worker after the other. Nice job here by REYNOR. At the same time, MARU pretty much had enough. He's actually now moving forward with his own forces. So many drones here that could get sniped. We even see a Tor now on the ground. Of course, a Tor universal unit, very good against air and land. So yeah, this one hatchery, of course, stand no chance against so many units here for MARU. So yeah, MARU is showing his presence. He's showing that he's not going to play this game anymore, just like REYNOR wishes it. So he's moving out. He's going to snipe so much of that creep. Also sniping this hatchery here. And yeah, now currently repositioning. REYNOR still very strong onto those locusts. He might snipe a tank or 2. Let's see what exactly is going to happen. 2 tanks have been sniped. Even the 3rd one might get sniped. So those locusts really strong for REYNOR. Even the 4th tank could be sniped. So the Swarmhosts really doing their job very nicely here for REYNOR. But yeah, MARU once again with his strong force is still at 126 6 army versus 122. It's still anyone's game. Let's see. Is MARU going to be attacking? Yes, indeed. He's going for this new expansion point by REYNOR, and he might snipe so many drones here once again. He's spreading his units also nicely here, so REYNOR, it's very hard for him to attack given the fact that he has swarm hosts, but he has no eggs. He's just launching those eggs into this location. The expansion has fallen. REYNOR answering with the same node. So many drones have fallen here as well. 21 drones have fallen, so finally MARU making something happen. Is REYNOR all of a sudden dropping to these 6 workers a nice anti-armor rocket. So much damage is being taken left and right by both players, but in the end MARU somehow miraculously coming back here, sniping more and more workers. 22 drones have fallen for REYNOR. He has lost the 2nd hatchery, this one, into this location as well, so he has to rebuild. So yeah, those swarmhosts might get replaced by other units. We see actually Broodwars in the air, and Broodwars with infestors, with fungals. So let's see how this is going to work out. for REYNOR. He's adding more and more of those Broodwars. He needs to be careful against those snipers on the ground and even against those Thors, as we've seen a drop here by Locust. Locust still doing damage, still sniping workers. 10 workers have been killed as both players had the same worker count, and the other snipers take care of this one hatchery. So slowly but steadily we're closing at the 30-minute mark. A very interesting game we have here with lots and lots of action, lots of back and forth. We even have 201 supply for REYNOR, and yeah, things might settle down a little bit as MARU will very likely try to attack into another position. We see once again an interesting mix of units here for REYNOR as he's moving forward towards the next expansion point, with Locusts, with Broodlords on the ground, and snipers here to counter lots and lots of pungers against those snipers. But yeah, 9, even 10, even 12 workers have been killed here once again by REYNOR. Look at that, so many workers have fallen here. The Locusts and the Broodlords taking care of that. So interesting game here as MARU has fallen to 44 workers. He still has a strong army, but the same can be said here for REYNOR. So yeah, now of course MARU is going to answer with the same note. He's going to kill this expansion point. Even might try to snipe this one drone here as REYNOR expecting of course his swarm host with the next launch of Locusts. Let's see, some battle cruisers might use some Yamamoto guns. Nice job microing them back and just relaunching those attacks. So nice fungals here by REYNOR as well. Great EMPs, so much damage going on left and right. So nice attacks here by both players. We even see a nuke now being launched by MARU just to scare REYNOR away. So very interesting game here by both players. Only some grip X will be sniped here as more and more Broodlords will respawn here by REYNOR. REYNOR actually having such a huge number of Broodlords, still having swarm hosts, still having infestors. So this is his unit composition. Let's see where exactly this is going to be taking him, as MARU still has those snipers, such an important unit. Thors here on the ground, so many Thors all of a sudden here for MARU, as he's now sniping once again, swarm host after swarm host, so taking out the important units here for REYNOR, sniping one after the other. Even the SCVs have come here to repair the Thor. So the Thor, very tanky unit, a very strong unit. 4 SCVs have been killed, as the battle cruisers will take care of this expansion point and just move here forward. So we also see another multitask here. So 4 lone tanks here dealing so much damage, a little bit exposed we might say, but they will very likely take out this one hatchery. So tanks with full upgrades, MARU showing us a nice multitask, just like Flash has showed us into Broodwar. So just a couple of tanks. Interesting move out here just to snap this one hatchery, just to deny so much mining time here for MARU. And the other snipers are still on the ground on a very sandy looking beach here. So yeah, in come the Zerglings. They will like take out those units, but the damage has already been done. And we have some sniping going on once again. 2 infestors have fallen against the snipers here. So such a great unit to have for the Terran. EMP also nicely being used, even those nuclear launch. So yeah, slowly but steadily at the 30-minute mark we are going to arrive very much soon. Still anyone's game. Such a massive army for both players. And let's see what exactly the next steps are going to be by both players. So currently they have calmed down a little bit, but REYNOR once again preparing an attack. Not having so many swarm hosts, actually not having any swarm hosts, no, just a couple of them. 5 of them into this location. Yeah, let's see when exactly is he going to prepare an attack with just a couple of locusts. He might try to snipe a Hellion or 2, but yeah, those Thors are already dealing damage. So the locusts aren't really going to get some connections. He might try to suicide those locusts and go for something else. As we see now, the Broodlords come here forward, and they are of course a much stronger unit. And let's see, the tanks are on the ground. They launch their Broodlords on the ground, and yes, so much damage being taken. Actually, the siege tanks work against MARU now as they deal splash damage towards their own units. This is exactly why he has unsieged them. More and more Broodlings will fall on the ground. Even Banings now being launched by REYNOR, but MARU somehow holds. He's taking quite a huge chunk of damage, but he does hold. I believe he's going to transition into more Thors, no tanks. And yeah, great EMP now once again being used by MARU. But yeah, one tower is going to fall, a second one here as well. We even see mind control now with those infestors. In come the battle cruisers from the back just to attack those broodlords. And yeah, more and more broodlords will fall here left and right. Currently there is not so much anti-air. Finally in come the corruptors. We see more and more units getting lost here by MARU, but same can be said here for REYNOR. Now MARU has the high ground, he has the better position to defend, as REYNOR might try to vomit here onto this one command center, but no, he decides to retreat as his broodlords will once again take damage out of those snipers. So yeah, a balanced engagement here, lots and lots of supplies. Still the locusts do try to move here forward, do try to launch some eggs. REYNOR pretty much throwing everything he has against this expansion point to deal of course as much damage as possible, but yeah, MARU somehow holds. He has dropped however very much low into supply, into army supply. And yeah, REYNOR looking now in a better position here against MARU. So yeah, finally we have passed the 30-minute mark. REYNOR looking like he has a smaller advantage here against MARU. Let's see what exactly is going to happen. As yeah, REYNOR will transition into some Zerglings, into some Roaches, into some Banelings. Where exactly is he going to attack? Perhaps into this location, but it's already being mined out. So yeah, REYNOR might try to attack this location here. Just roaming, currently roaming around as the battle cruisers finally will attack this location here. So still MARU of course wanting to take this location out. Let's see what's going to happen, as we also have a Tastelope here, very beautiful looking creature. And yeah, MARU takes out the hatchery. But hold on, in comes those corruptors. He will launch Yamamoto gun once again and then teleport out. At the same time, we have a strong engagement here with so many banelings actually. So MARU pretty much under siege, losing once again a great chunk of those workers. REYNOR taking us by surprise here, attacking MARU. Where MARU needs to be very much careful now. He has dropped to 27 workers versus the 36 by REYNOR. So REYNOR being very much aggressive here. He knows he has the advantage. He might even snipe those two battle cruisers, those corruptors. So taking out unit after unit. MARU responding with 9 kills against the SCVs, against the drones, sorry. And now REYNOR looking like he's also going to take out this expansion point for MARU. So MARU pretty much under siege here, is going to lose this expansion here as well against the corruptors. Some swarm hosts are still alive. Swarm hosts really good unit to have. Still some hellbats on the ground, some snipers as well. As REYNOR looking like he's going to move more and more forward. He might try to launch some fungals. He might try to launch some mind control as the command center is slowly but steadily burning down. So REYNOR really has to repair this one. Scans go out. We see fungals being launched. One sniper has been killed. And yeah, hold on, we actually also have an engagement here, but no, it's just REYNOR with a couple of Zerglings. And yeah, REYNOR having the high ground, the command center going back to get repaired. As MARU slowly but steadily pushes now forward with his hellbats, with his Thors. Army-wise, they're still at the same count. Nice upgrades for both players being maxed out. The high ground this time is here for REYNOR. REYNOR of course not going to allow a landing here by this one command center, so the Thors are here. The tanks are also slowly but steadily pushing forward. REYNOR has transitioned into many Roaches, many Ravagers, not having so many Broodlords. So those tanks and those Thors actually look very good to counter this. So interesting transition here by REYNOR. Is going into those Zerglings, Ravagers, Roaches. Only one Broodlord being left alive, of course. The Broodlord are very expensive units, but those snipers will take care of those. And yeah, once again MARU showing us the strength of those snipers. Let's see, REYNOR is pretty much going to commit. The Zerglings are in the front. Banelings to get some connections, but yeah, those units are so much tanky. And yeah, MARU does hold here as slowly but steadily is pushing forward against REYNOR. And MARU with a very risky command center move out. He really wants to repair this one command center as fast as he can. This one SCV should repair it. And let's see, a nice fungal here by REYNOR. He might snipe. So many Hellions, 3 Hellions have fallen. The command center is dropping very much low. Finally it's getting repaired, but hold on, we actually see a nice move forward here by REYNOR with some Zerglings against MARU. As of course to snipe those units, those reinforcements. He's going to take out a couple of tanks here, so REYNOR with a nice move out. And now the snipers are in the front, but the Ravagers will take care of that. The snipers still come back. They really want to snipe some of those Broodlords. Might even try to snipe some Corruptors, so good job here by MARU. But REYNOR has of course vision with those Overseers in the air. So yeah, slowly but steadily, as you can see, we're closing at the end of the game, and all of a sudden I see actually Reigning dropping to 60 workers, so 60 army supply. So somehow MARU, with his interesting mix, is able to hold. At one point I was thinking that REYNOR had the advantage, but yeah, MARU holding, especially thanks to those towers, those snipers. Hellbats, of course, perfect on the ground to counter Zerglings and Broodlords. Yeah, let's see if somehow REYNOR can come back here. He's currently behind, he has a handicap, but he is trying to add some Vipers now against the units. But yeah, so many snipers are still being left alive here for MARU. By the looks of it, he has the advantage now somehow. Still, however, REYNOR takes out unit after unit, so this could be his advantage with his Ravagers, as they're both now regrouping in the middle of the map. I believe MARU is going to try to attack this expansion point. Let's see what exactly is going to happen. He's securing this expansion point with some tanks, many tanks here, and he really wants to take out the last mining position here for REYNOR. He might even try to uplift this planetary fortress and downlift, and so many Helens here on the ground. Such a sweat. You look at those Zerglings will instantly melt against so many Hellbats on the ground. Those Ravagers connections, getting some good connections here, but the Hellbats with those blue flamed really strong, and the snipers in the back just sniping Ravager after Ravagers. So yeah, in the end, somehow MARU came back. Such a nice game here by these two pro players. And yeah, once again showing us, MARU showing us the late game Terran versus Zerg. Such a better game here by REYNOR at the beginning of the game with those swarm hosts just abusing the fact, but REYNOR somehow holding with those towers, with the tanks, especially with those Hellbats on the ground. The Hellbats just countering swarm hosts and even Broodlords with the Broodlings on the ground. And yeah, in the end, MARU with those snipers, just around 15 snipers, just kept sniping Broodlord after Broodlord, as REYNOR had to transition into Roaches, into Ravagers. Yeah, in the end, MARU somehow miraculously coming back here, showing us the strengths of the Terran versus the Zerg. So a very interesting game, a very long game here in between them. In the end, MARU somehow being the victor here. Look at the upgrades, everything is being upgraded. Look at the losses here. We have so many losses for REYNOR and idle time. I don't know what that means. Yeah, really nice game. Look at that MARU with 600 APM in the late game. Tech, also nice tech here, whatever that means. So yeah, nice game here by both players. I hope once again you enjoyed this replay. We'll be seeing, of course, in the next replays. This is Tommy signing out.